Guys, we've got ourselves another match. Tim, would you be so kind as to introduce our players?
Yeah, man. The bottom left corner from NsHoSeo. It's going to be NsHoSeo, a Zerg player that for some reason I've watched like 18 videos of him and he does not spread creep. I don't know why.
Yeah, he doesn't spread creep, but he's good.
So I'm hoping that he can take out this guy in the top right corner. Red Terran player alive. Now remember, guys, NsHoSeo is currently up 2-1 over Fnatic. Let's see if they can keep the ball running. Right now, Alive has stopped the momentum, and he's getting ready for another game on Daybreak.
That he has. So ZVT on this map is really, really exciting. I mean, we actually, our play of the day was Maru versus J-Dong on this very map with the Terran also on the right-hand side. And we saw the effectiveness of creep spread. It's pretty crazy stuff, man.
It's getting pretty good. People are realizing, oh my gosh, we've only been talking about it for a year, but if we put this all over the place, it's going to destroy everybody.
We've only been talking about this for a year.
Wow, you see that little juke there by NsHoSeo, actually? He went to the left and then went to the right. I thought he was actually getting set up to go for a really quick hatchery, but I guess it was just a little bit of a weird...
Yeah, I think he was checking for... sometimes we see Terrans actually proxy like a supply depot and a barracks over here, and that's really responsible of NsHoSeo. Shows he's making sure that Alive is...
I must have died of that last game, actually. I don't know if that's responsibility. It's like, I just died of this last game. I'm going to go ahead and check. And there we go, following up the expansion right away. This is pretty typical of a ZVT, of course. You usually see a command center first against for a lot of Terrans, and actually there it is right away, just for the mere fact that even if Zerg opens up with a 6 pool, a 7 pool, defend it pretty easily, and that's just kind of like where the macro games are when it comes to ZVT. So.
Like you actually will defend it on this map because you supply depot and you can continue building this, and it has so many hit points, it's so far away. By the time they arrive, your command center is almost 3/4 of the way done.
And I like the Alive here pulling 2 SCVs right away to hop on top of that drone. Don't want to slow down the command center in any way, shape, or form, or effectively you actually lose the advantage of going for it first. So nice play there, fall up into a spawning pool. Potentially with this drone, scouting this command center, I'm kind of expecting maybe a really quick third. I've been seeing a lot of Zerg players just go straight for a fast third, cut their second queen, just get one queen out, go that route, and then follow up into your double gas and then get your speed. So we'll keep an eye on him doing that. Actually, what's that in the top left corner? Is that an Overlord going? Yeah, it's an Overlord. Okay, I was going to say, is he got a drone floating around there?
Be working its way over here to the top left to see when the second gas gets taken, which right now NsHoSeo's going to be denying. There aren't... there's not a huge plethora of one gas builds. If you're sitting on one gas, you're pretty much just going for Hellions, or you're going for Startail Bomber. Actually pioneered this build that was really, really cool in the pro scene. Used it. I remember a game versus him and Idra that was really, really cool. Actually, Idra did end up winning it, but used it to great success versus like Chef and a couple other guys. You go for very fast stim. Followed up with another combat shields, and they actually time that they finish at the same time. And you make about 6 or 7 barracks with reactors on them and just pump Marines and nothing but Marines. It's pretty scary stuff, and, well, you know the way to beat that, Tim? It's creep spread.
Well, creep spread is definitely a good way to go for it.
Inlings are so good on creep.
Well, something to know is NsHoSeo with this gas harass that he's doing effectively. He knows, of course, like you mentioned, that since there is gas, there's going to be either a factory follow-up into Hellions, like you mentioned, or, of course, there could be a really delayed Banshee. So he's going to go ahead and follow up into a gas here on his main, and that means he's going to have availability here to, 1, have speed on the field, so he can keep an eye on what's going on around the map, and 2, he can follow up into a later third. I like the choice there. Since he decided to deny Alive, slow him down for any pushes, he's going to go ahead and make sure that he has map control to follow up afterwards. So nice play there from NsHoSeo.
Yeah. We'll be seeing if he goes for that quick 6-minute third as well that we've been seeing more and more of. You go for it with speed. You do typically pull off after your first 100 gas, though, which he is about to reach, so we'll see if he opts to do that. 1, 2 off gas. All right, so definitely is possible. He could be going for that. Alternatively, we could... he's going to have 4 queens on the field, in fact.
Yeah, he's actually pulling that second queen down to the natural as well. Is he going to go and pop a creep tumor down, or is he going straight to the hatchery? I'm going to go ahead and pull that up outside of the creep spread here. Yeah, so he's actually used his first 2 queens. He'll slow down his first injects here. Well, actually, they were slowed down for about 5 seconds there as he popped out his 2 queens, but just immediately getting that creep spread going. Good job, Alan. Like I said, the last time I watched him, no creep spread whatsoever. And I'm like, why isn't this guy spread creep? And it looks like he's finally following up and getting into the trend, if you will, of Zerg players as of late, just spreading the map.
You can't ignore what the success that J-Dong has had lately, thanks to his creep spread, because we're seeing him completely forego otherwise regarded as essential mechanics, like using your larva. J-Dong, I mean, I watched this GSL match. Tim, he had 60 larva. You hit the U, you saw 60 here. And he's like in this really troubled spot, and he's sitting on like 1,500, like 800. He had an incredibly large resource count. He's got 60 larvae, and they're like, what is J-Dong doing right now? Like, he needs units, he needs to spend this money, and so they go to his camera, and he's just spreading creep. Like, he's not making units, he's just spreading creep. And, it's a question of what are you going to prioritize more than, because there's only so many things you can do at StarCraft, and if you need to spread your money and you also need to spread creep, well, Jaedong has actually been electing to spread creep over things like making stuff. And that's just mind-boggling, but it's been working out for him.
Good to hear, man. Well, it looks like the Hellions have popped out, and we're going to go ahead and deal with these creep tumors. Ling will get 1 Hellion. It's always nice to do. But 3 Hellions out here makes it a little bit harder to keep moving that creep here. He needs to pull off a couple of queens and start moving it forward. But he's actually going to go ahead and circumvent this creep and go around that 3rd. And this is where LNK sometimes, if he did spread creep, he'd go about this far in distance, and that's where it kind of confused me. So I'm hoping that he'll keep moving it forward here. But looking into his main, his natural quick, if we can pull up that production tab also while we're looking at it, how many gases does he have? He has 1, 2, 3. Looks like I got 2 in the main, 1 in the natural, so it doesn't look like he's going to be going too crazy in terms of Muta quite yet. He has got 2 evolution chambers and a Bailing Nest, but he looks like he wants to have a strong ground army here. If he wanted to get for Mutas, we would have seen a 4th and potentially a 5th and 6th gas going down right about now. But for now, he just wants to have Ling presence on the field, and I like that choice. He can deny that 3rd for a while.
Yeah, definitely the case, you know, but we will say that Alive is going to have pretty quick medevacs on the field. In fact, I think, have they already popped out? No, it's just the first one getting out now, but he is going to be going for, at least for the initial part of this game, Marine Marauder medevac. And this is going to be a very, very mobile army against LNK. If LNK gets caught like overexpanding, for instance, could run into a lot of trouble. It's also going to be vital that LNK has excellent Overlord spread, which right now has actually done a very good job of Overlords in fantastic positions.
Well, Hellions are doing some juking and jiving as well. Gonna go ahead and try and deal with these things, but with some nice micro actually from LNK, he's gonna finally dispatch this. It's actually really hard micro to pull off catching Hellions there, but just runs into a batch of Marines and loses almost every single Ling.
Yep.
That's painful. Now you have to create a few more. Immediately, as you see, you lose Lings, and automatically the Zerg player, you just slam that key down, and you get 14, 16, 24 drones out immediately because you want to replenish them as fast as possible. So it's always nice as a Terran player to catch off patch of Lings if you can, so make sure you do so. Viking is coming down the bottom right corner, searching for any Overlords, wants to get rid of any pathing for said medevacs that might be coming at any time.
Well, he did not manage to see those Lings. He will see this Overlord, however. That's a bit of a mistake out of LNK.
Oh, the medevac's there, that's why I can see it. Bam, so there it goes. Oh, Ling's actually making it to the natural, though. Mistake here from Alive, really focusing on getting that Overlord, and doesn't pick up that supply depot. That bunker will be going down, and looks like some free Marauders, free Marines here, and potentially even some Mules and SCVs if he wants to focus them, but no, he's actually stuck in the supply depots, and he's going to lose those Lings. That could have been a lot more damage, actually. Yeah, he could have run all the way into the main and forced these units to come all the way home. Yeah.
And now, they're going to be able to move out pretty rapidly again here. Lings are going to find Marines. These upgrades. Looks like I somehow cannot click on a single Zergling, but either way, the Marines are going to be able to kite back and retreat up into this medevac here in a second. I was going to say
1-1's finished up.
Yeah, I thought it was, and 1-1's not complete here for Alive yet.
Whenever you see 1-1, you see the grounding structure, you have 0-0 as well. If you see any siege tanks or anything, make sure you take that engagement, because it actually will kill off your Marines faster than it kills off your Lings. Something to always note there. But there's no siege tanks on the field quite yet. Siege mode has finally been on the way here.
Wow.
Oh, he's going aggressive, man.
He's going to get really intense. 28 Banelings right now. He is reinforcing this with 20 additional Zerglings. Speed is finishing up in just 5, 4, 3. It's finishing up any second here. Bunker does go down. Banelings are now going to make their way up the ramp. A reactor. And they get turned around, but now they're going to get to explode into these supply depots, following through to the Marines. The tank not quite dead. The Zerglings are ravaging the mineral line, though, and Alive is looking in a lot of trouble, Tim.
Oh, wow. So he's doing a good job of cutting these Banelings in the main, but like you said, the real trouble is in the natural, where the Lings are just killing everything. Nice control there from Ellen Kelly, actually, and as well from Alive, but unfortunately, I think he might be just losing too many SCVs. Whenever we get a chance, can we pull up that worker tab count so we can get an idea of where exactly we're at? 20 workers killed off.
14 additional.
50 to 44. So actually not that big of an advantage. It kind of actually is a big investment to go straight in for Banelings. You want to kill a lot.
It was a really big investment, and one of the things I was trying to point out was that these Banelings were chasing around the corner and could have killed combat shields here, which would have been a huge victory. Of course, Marines do die in a single Baneling when they do not have combat shields.
Or B, he could have gone straight for SCVs, but hindsight's 2020. Here we go. Banelings and Link moving forward once again. This natural is, oh my god, he is so ballsy, just standing there, like taking as many shots as he possibly can. And he actually killed off all those Banelings, and suddenly Ellen Kelly is in a rut. He's constantly keeping an aggression going, but as he's doing so, he's slowly putting himself farther and further behind. His upgrades are finishing up for Alive, as you mentioned. If he gets one Baneling hit off, he'll be great, but Alive doing a good job controlling this.
He's doing a fantastic job. Alive is really not taking any damage here at this point. These last few attacks have yielded nothing at all.
Very
cost efficient. A tank, I think. This is looking beautiful for Alive, who in the beginning did take a little too much damage, but now is recovering quite nicely. The question is behind this, is LNK squeezing in any drones here? No, he's not, and he has yet to start 2-2, whereas Alive has started it. Guys, if Alive holds this next attack, which he's going to, there's 4 banelings here, Alive is now incredibly ahead.
Yeah, Alive's doing a good job of multitasking. He's one defending on all fronts, but he's also been following up in macro behind all this, and that's put him substantially far ahead. Great job there from Alive, and now doing a drop once again in the main here. He could go for the spawning pool. I actually think he would go for the spawning pool over the lair here. He's going to go and focus down the spawning pool. That's going to make it way harder for LNK to do anything in terms of an aggressive push that could be coming in the future. If I was Alive, after I kill the spawning pool, is he focusing it down, or is he just...
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Focus it down. After I kill the spawning pool, get out a siege tank or 2, let 2-2 finish up, and just push across the middle of the map. And he even saves the medevac with all his Marines. Well played here from Alive. Alive is tearing through LNK.
Oh, he is at this moment. I mean, it's 130 supply to 106, and that 130 is going to be tied up in 2-2 Marines. We can see 73 army supply right now, actually, to just 37 for LNK. And Tim, I think we're going to see Alive follow your advice. He's about to push out because LNK can't make anything.
Yeah, man, he's going to be hurting here now. At least he's been doing his creep spread here. If you're going to be spreading your creep, though, you do have to kind of prioritize some really big pushes that could be coming your way, or not be aggressive like he was earlier and lose all your units. So from here, LNK's going to sit back. And come on, Alive, you got to move, man, because that spawning pool is about to finish up here, and we do have a lot of resources, actually.
Yeah.
There's a Spire on the way, which will make it a tad bit easier to deal with these siege tanks, but it looks like Alive was going to wait for the 2 to 3 siege tanks that I mentioned that should pop up, and here we go. 3-3 has been queued up. He's going to get aggressive. I want him to take out this 4th, and then set up outside that 3rd and just keep reinforcing.
Yep, and he is going to need to clean up the creep as he moves out here. We see a small band of Marines going to do exactly that, but there's a lot of tumors thanks to the many, many queens that LNK did choose to make. Tanks should be sieging up here, and they will. Alive is going to make sure that these Marines are well protected. This 4th base has almost no chance to survive. Meanwhile, we've got LNK, yep, doing that counter. He's going to get some damage in as well.
Smart choice here from LNK. He can't really fight. Oh my gosh, he can fight this army if he lands every single baneling. What? Alive now pulling back. And he took a lot of damage there because those lings were in his main. What a good distraction there from LNK. And suddenly, LNK that was super far behind is suddenly in a decent position until, oh wait, we have this drop that didn't get killed off earlier, coming and killing drones.
Yeah, it's doing a lot of damage. This is the same medevac. You're completely right, Tim. You can see the hit point's still so low on it, but Alive was completely distracted by those Zerglings, lost a ton of Marines because he's also going to lose this bunker. At least the Marines won't go down with it.
Yeah, that would be horrible if splash damage happened, but those Marines are still alive in the main, actually. If we want to go and poke over to LNK's main really quickly here. Killed off the gas. It looks like he just spread them out and let them do whatever they wanted. He could have killed off the spawning pool once again, but does force the retreat here, and he's actually got a big drop once again heading to this 3rd. He's actually just going to go ahead and float straight to that 3rd. There's nothing to defend there except for 1 queen. I don't think LNK sees it. I see no units moving towards there.
I mean, I still really like Alive's position here. He's got the better upgrades, and he didn't lose any siege tanks.
Yeah.
You know, those banelings, yeah, they rolled through the Marines, and that was really important for LNK, but he didn't lose any tanks, and so Alive's going to be able to continue with this push.
Well, there goes the queen. He's going to slow down larva production, just doing little things to help him out as he keeps pushing across the middle of the map, and he's actually pushing on that 4th once again here. Siege tanks are sieged up on that ramp. This time, I guarantee you, Alive's going to pay a little bit more attention to those Marines.
Yeah.
This 4th is into the red, and with the retreat back here, we need to get a siege tank pushed up a little bit closer and it'll be alright, but oh my gosh, he is multitasking crazy here. Having the 3rd come in and doing some damage with those Marines as well, just killing off drones, and LNK just can't keep up. It's too much at once.
Yeah, he simply can't multitask this well. I mean, his APM's, sure, it's incredibly high, but Marines coming forward right now. I mean, these mutas just are going to get cleaned up by these 2-2 Marines. They're incredibly strong, almost 3-3 now. I am a little bit surprised Alive is not reinforcing across this path. If he was, I mean, this would be... but at this point, he's actually done so much damage to LNK, it just doesn't matter. Yeah,
it's really, really hard to actually keep reinforcing when you have 2 drops going off at once. The one in the main did get cleaned up, but I can understand his reasoning. You know what? I'm not going to waste any units and potentially get them caught in the middle of the map as they're rallied. Let's go ahead and have them sit in my main, but still, the medevacs, or the mutas are doing some decent damage now, but the Marines charging forward with that stem, gonna go ahead and run on in here and try and get rid of these mutas. But the siege tank does fall, but this is a lot of damage pushing across the middle of the map.
Yeah, there's nothing left here for LNK. He's making 3 banelings right now and 4 Zerglings and 3 mutas. Those are all single digits. You add them all up, they just barely make 2 digits.
Can we look at the workers killed real quick?
Oh yeah, I mean,
it was so much. 46.
Large.
And it looks like LNK did some damage of his own, but it looks like just too much. Alive just done way more damage, and Alive tying up the series 2-2.
Really, really well played game out of Fnatic. Raid calls Alive. I mean, he's playing pretty clean here. A couple of mistakes there, definitely, with the multitasking element, but overall, it was pretty crisp.
Very good, man. And that was just all LNK. If you ever do a baneling attack, and you have a patch of Marines left, about 10 to 12, don't reinforce with another one, because 1, there's another wave of units about to come out from your opponent, and 2, they're going to be able to sitting prepared for your next baneling wave, because it's always going to be way weaker than your first push. So LNK, I think he overestimated how much damage he had done. And thus that really put him behind, and from there he just couldn't keep up with Alive. Alive did a good job of following up with aggression afterwards.
Yeah, and as we said, he didn't get those tanks. It's kind of like killing a whole Protoss ground army, but not killing the Colossi. It's like, well, they just need a minute or two, and then they're going to hit you again, and you probably lost most of your army. So a tough game there definitely for LNKey. Alive evening up the series, guys. We're going to cut, of course, to another quick break, and now it's game number 5 coming up.
Yeah,
2-2,
Chugging along.
Yeah.
Be right back, guys.